Which Side is a cooperative game where all the workers fight against the employers. The employers are represented by a board where there are 4 gauges: the employer force, which represent the game turns, the daily working hours, the working conditions, and the wages. If the patronage force reaches 10, the game is over and the employers win. To win, workers have to take control of the means of production. Employers will confront workers with employer planning cards. These are cards that are contextualized and have an effect on several turns, all illustrated by planned employer cards. In each turn, these cards reveal normal boss cards and difficult boss cards. These cards have historical context. Defeating them requires the use of different resources, like dollars, agitation, strikes, and sabotage. Planned employer cards will work the same way. To fight against the employers and survive, workers will need to act in New York, as this is the work scenario. The struggle takes place in political places, such as the premises of textile workers. We can obtain resources by placing workers over anarchist agitation and sabotage, for example. But workers must also survive the cost of living expenses. For that, they have to go to the workplace. All these actions are not without consequences, and with each worker installed, the risk gauges, such as police threat and health, will be affected. It is also possible to locally take control of the means of production, or develop political places by placing 2 workers of different tenements, thus obtaining the B side of a place. Therefore, workers recover the corresponding resources: anarchist agitation, union agitation, or even sabotage. Once all workers have gathered all necessary resources, they can be spent on taking on the employer's cards. Workers embody a group of activists living in a tenement, and their health is important, so if they are sick or injured, it will cost more, and they may even no longer be able to act. The expenses for each character, in addition to the cost of rent, will give the cost of living that must be paid on each turn to avoid misery. It is also on the tenements that each worker will keep their gauge of risk, police threat, and home health. Each tenement is personalized and can be developed by purchasing a room. The game is punctuated by the misfortunes that befall workers to illustrate the harshness of life in 1910, and by the incidents suffered by the workers according to their risk, their police threat, and health. Some can even take them to jail. But do not despair. When you fight effectively, historical figures will come in to lend a hand. If you want to know more, you can download the rules from our Kickstarter page. They will be available in French, English, Spanish, and German. We also make strong commitments in favor of the planet and workers.